What's going on, everybody? Today we have got the third tactic in the Kaiju series, which is my Kaiju number 3, and it is a 4-2-3-1 that's an absolute banger. Now, before we get into today's video, really quickly, I want to thank you guys for all the nice messages and just reaching out to me and whatnot over the weekend, as there was a loss in the family, so truly does mean a lot. Like I always say, absolutely love the FM community. We have one of the best out there. But in regards to the tactic, if you guys wish to give this tactic a go for yourselves, I'll be linking my Discord down below in the description. It's where you're going to be able to download the tactic from within the download section of the Discord. But now, I guess, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So, this tactic was tested with a country as well as a club. That is how I'm going to be doing these going forward, being that the Euros and Copa America are going on. So, the country that I decided to test with was Croatia. They kind of had all the players that I needed for these roles. And then the club that I tested with was Galatasaray. So, when it came to the results, what did this tactic allow both of them to do? Well, it allowed Croatia to win the Euros. They actually got revenge over France, which was absolutely incredible. Right here was their run within the Euros. They ended up losing the first game to Italy, but then they beat Spain, Albania, Scotland, Poland, the Netherlands, and finally France within the final. And when it came to Galatasaray, how did they do? They ended up winning the league on 86 points, 3 points clear of Fenerbahce, which this is kind of what I was trying to achieve. I wanted something that could help Croatia win the Euros. I wanted something that could help Galatasaray win the league, and we achieved both. And when it comes to numbers for the players, what does it look like? We're going to kind of solely have to look at Galatasaray because the numbers include friendlies and all that with the national team stuff. So we're just going to be taking a look at Galatasaray's numbers. Mauro Icardi was absolutely fantastic. 39 goals from a complete forward as well, because that is what he'll be playing up top. Then we have Karim Ekterkoglu with 18, Brice Alper Yilmaz, as well as Hakim Ziyech and Wilfried Zaha, all having 13. What I was really happy with was the assist numbers. We have 4 players here with double-digit assists, but there's going to be 2 that I really want to point out. It's not Yilmaz, it's not Ekterkoglu. They were both fantastic. They both had 13, but the ones I want to highlight is Lucas Torreira and Kerem Demirbay. They are going to basically be the players that played the most overpowered defensive midfield duo within FM. It is the ball-winning midfielder and the segundo volante. And seeing that Kerem Demirbay had 18 assists, you're probably thinking that he was a segundo volante. He was the ball-winning midfielder. And I will explain to you in a moment how he has those numbers as a ball-winning midfielder. Because first, before I do that, we're going to take a look at how the tactic looks. This is how the tactic is lined up. The Kaiju tactics, for you, those of you that do not know, they are all asymmetric tactics. So this is a asymmetric 4-2-3-1, and it's absolutely fantastic. It is slightly different from one that I've done in the past. I use some of the same roles, which they're from the target practice 4-2-3-1 that I've done, but I switched some of them up and it performs just as well. It does very, very good, and it's very fun to watch as well. So how it lines up, we've got the complete forward up top, 2 inside forwards out wide, and a shadow striker in between them as that number 10 that is offset. Then we have the ball-winning midfielder with a segundo volante, inverted fullback, inverted wingback, 2 ball-playing defenders, and then the sweeper keeper. Now, how does this tactic work? You'll notice this gap. This gap is for the segundo volante to run into. The complete forward moves into channels, so he's basically going to operate all up here in the box. He's not just going to stay over here. Shadow striker also will basically act as a striker, so if the shadow striker comes up, complete forward will move over here, and this is kind of how it'll play out. You also, let's move these back, you also have the inverted wingback. The inverted wingback takes the spot of the segundo volante because this inverted wingback is on support, not defend. So it's going to come into the defensive midfield area with the ball-winning midfielder. However, like I said, the shadow striker comes up, ball-winning midfielder comes up, inverted wingback comes up. You have the inverted fullback, ball-playing defender, ball-playing defender. This is kind of how it'll play out, although these inside forwards will either stay wider or they will cut inside acting like wide strikers, because that is what inside forwards do. And it's a very, very potent attack. Now, the ball-winning midfielder and segundo volantes are going to be some of your main playmakers, as well as your inverted wingback. If you have someone that is very good at the inverted wingback, they will be very good in the playmaking game for you. Now, with these inside forwards, shadow striker, complete forward, they can all contribute in goals and assists. Segundo volante and ball-winning midfielder, however, in this system, compared to the target practice one, in this system, they're mainly going to be playmakers, as we saw. They both only had 3 goals, but Demirbay, as the ball-winning midfielder, had 18 assists. So the Segundo volante had 11 assists, so they're mainly going to be playmakers. And like I had said, there is a reason as to why Karim Demirbay, playing as a ball-winning midfielder, was still able to lead the team in assists. I have figured out a way to make the ball-winning midfielder super duper overpowered. It's always been one of my favorite roles, but I found a way this year to make it even better, because ball-winning midfielders usually see the ball, get the ball, move the ball off. That's their job. However, if you have someone like Karim Demirbay, who has great first touch, great passing ability, technique, and vision, they're also going to be able to be a playmaker in that role. So you have a ball-winning midfielder playmaker, basically. It's like a whole other role when you have players like this, because you can have players that are basically just ball winners, but if you have one that is like Karim Demirbay and has the ability to also be a playmaker within that role, then that role will be absolutely insane for you, and that is why it works so well within this system especially. But now, very quickly, before we get into breaking down the tactical instructions, player instructions, all the roles, all that good stuff, I'm going to show you guys a highlight very quickly in the 2D match engine so that you guys can kind of see how the players move, how the tactic plays out, and whatnot. And I'm going to show you guys the 4-0 win by Croatia over Spain in the group stage. So, as we can see from those highlights, those inside forwards, they will tend to stay wider when they need to. They're great crossers of the ball. So is the inverted wing back. I mean, so are the defensive midfielders. Everyone got involved in the playmaking area of the game, and everyone was finishing their chances. This system really is absolutely fantastic, especially when you have the perfect players for it. Hence why I was doing it with Croatia, because they really fit it. I think if they used something like this in reality, they probably could have gone further, because it does suck that they did get eliminated from the Euros, because I absolutely love watching this Croatian team. But they were unbelievable with this tactic, as was Galatasaray. So now that we've gone over that, let's go ahead and get into the FM side of things with the tactical and player instructions along with the roles. Now, the tactic file that you'll be looking for in the download section of the Discord is Gormy's 4231 Kaiju No.3. That will be the file name that you look for to download. We've got a complete forward on attack up top, 2 inside forwards on attack out wide, the shadow striker on attack in that offset number 10, ball-winning midfielder on support, segundo volante on support, both in the defensive midfield area, inverted fullback on defend, inverted wingback on support, 2 ball-playing defenders on defend, and a sweep keeper on defend. The complete forward on attack was left as is. The left inside forward on attack was left as is. The right inside forward on attack has crosses aimed at center and shoot more often. The shadow striker on attack has crosses aimed at center and shoot more often. The ball-winning midfielder on support was left as is. The segundo volante on support has movement at channels and tackle harder. The inverted fullback on defend was left as is. Same thing with the inverted wingback. As for the ball-playing defenders, and that sweep keeper on defend left unchanged as well. When it comes to the mentality with this tactic, it is played with an attacking mentality. That is what I do suggest using. If you want to go positive, you can. Don't really suggest going balance. It's going to take away from the attacking creativity within this tactic, so definitely either go positive or attacking. When we're in possession of the ball, we play fairly narrow with the attacking width, play out from the defense, work the ball into the box, and use low crosses in the final third, standard passing directness, and slightly higher tempo. When in transition, we counter press and counter, distribute quickly to the fullbacks and the center backs. Once out of possession, we have a high press line of engagement, higher defensive line, and more often trigger press. Now, when it comes to the level of ability needed to play this sort of style, I think it can be used with basically any side. You just need the right players for it. And to get the most out of the ball winning midfielder role, especially within this tactic, if you have someone that is a good ball winner, but also a good playmaker, you are going to absolutely love this tactic. However, when it comes to tactical tweaks, there are a few that I would suggest if you wish to make them. The first would be with the inside forward on attack on the left side. Notice how the inside forward on attack on the right side, it had crosses aimed at center and shoot more often, and the left did not. It's because I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more of a safer inside forward on the left side without putting it on support. So if you wish to have it be aggressive like the one on the right side, all you gotta do is just add that crosses aimed at center, shoot more often. When it comes to wanting to get a goal late, you will want to take this Segundo Volante from on support to on attack because it will instruct them to get further forward. And what is also great about this is the shadow striker basically acts as a deeper striker. So what you can end up doing, once again, if you want to get a goal later on or need a goal later on, you move them up alongside your complete forward and you put them as an advanced forward on attack. So those are the tweaks I would make if you wish to make them, or if you're trying to get a goal late on to either draw or get the win. Alright, so there we have it. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please feel free to check out this tactic. Once again, I'll be linking it down below in the description in my Discord. In the download section, that is where you'll be able to find it and download it from. But if you have enjoyed today's video, please feel free. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so on that sub button. Right now on screen will be popping up my most recent Kaiju tactic video, which is a 4-1-3-2. That is an absolute world beater, so definitely give it a go. It was absolutely insane. But until next time, everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye.